Limited is one of the largest service residence global companies, and I think looking at our competition, obviously we have Fraser and we have Oakwood, so it was an acquisition that made sense. It was a model that we already knew how to operate and run, so it allowed us to extend our growth globally as a portfolio and kind of easily integrate the two brands. In regards to the Philippines, I kind of understand the question because obviously we had Oakwood in Makati that we took over and rebranded to Ascott. And so where does Ascott and Oakwood stand? At the same time, obviously you had the Oakwood Joy Nostalgia component as well. So actually for us, when we look at Oakwood and Ascott, yes, there are similarities, but there's a different component that we look at. When we see Oakwood, we see that Oakwood still has a presence and remembrance in the US market. Predominantly. So there's an impact to the property that is looking for. So we are excited about the fact that we're bringing it into Manila because we think it makes sense in that location as compared to an Ascott brand. As Cecil mentioned as well, we're doing a brand refresh of Oakwood too. So this is also part in terms of where we will scale Oakwood in terms of our portfolio between the Ascott component, obviously the Citadines and Somerset component. But remember at Oakwood, they had 7 different brands. They had the Oakwood Premier, they had the Oakwood Hotel and Suites, they had the Oakwood Residences. We are actually streamlining it down to two components. Obviously we have the Oakwood Premier, which is a luxury brand component, and then we'll have Oakwood, in which we then allowed a bit more flexibility to bring out the brand. So we actually are quite optimistic about Oakwood in the Philippines. Obviously it's not one of the brands that we're going to come charging out and growing at 5, 6, 7, 8. Similar to the Ascott, will be selective in terms of the market that it can bring in. As highlighted, Citadines is obviously the fastest growing brand in the country, but definitely Oakwood does make sense in the Philippines because it does attract the US market. The other component of Oakwood is also that it's internal F&B as well. So predominantly a lot of our properties were external or outsourced F&B. This now makes it internal. It also operates as a standalone as compared to our cluster internal arrangement. So it's an area that I guess 2 aspects are, one, globally makes sense in terms of our growth portfolio, the acquisition. Locally, in terms of the market, in terms of attracting the American market as well, the US market, I think that's also big. Oakwood is also quite strong in North Asia, Japan and Korea. These are also 2 strong demographics that we think we can lure in more customers for our Oakwood.
Yeah. What Philip has said, so coming from the Global Sales and Marketing Conference, there's a lot of integration that's happening globally to integrate Oakwood with the Ascott properties, with the Ascott family. So it's all about the brand pillars. As you know, each brand will have brand pillars to identify the brand. So when Oakwood comes, it will be a different look. It will have different brand pillars that will actually separate it from the rest of the other brands that we have.